Hello, my name is Ashish Vankara, and I am applying for the Proton OnSite scholarship. And this is my video interview. So the question was, what do you hope to accomplish in the next 10 years that will evolve the science and technology realm in the United States? To begin answering this question, I would like to discuss about how I became introduced to this field. Entering into high school, I loved the natural sciences, but I wasn't sure exactly which direction I would take this. During my junior year, I took an AP Environmental Science class, and as part of the science curriculum, we were required to conduct an ecological audit project with a partner. So when we were assigned this topic, my partner and I, we walked around the school to find a subject to do this project on, and we stumbled upon a door in our library that we'd never actually paid attention to. And in this door, behind this door, was a computer lab that we had no idea that it existed. And keep in mind, we were juniors at the time. And unfortunately, the door was locked to get into the computer lab, and the lights were turned off. No one was in the computer lab, but all the computers were running, and they were not on. They didn't have a sleep mode. And obviously, this frustrated us greatly, and we immediately knew that this was going to be the subject of our ecological audit project. So, with the help of our teacher, we designed a policy change proposal that eventually could save up to $10,000 for our school, and greatly decrease the size of our ecological footprint. And we presented it to our principal and eventually our entire school staff and administration. After completing this project, I realized that this is where my true passion lies. I enjoy employing my scientific knowledge to create positive change in my community, which was my school at the time, and thereby benefiting the individual members in the community. So, back to the scholarship, back to the question, sorry. I found that a lot of the roadblocks that are currently that are preventing the renewable energy industry from expanding are actually just policies that we've enacted. And it has me baffled, and much of the scientific community is baffled as well. Many detailed laws can result in a spike in renewable energy prices. For instance, the Endangered Species Act, the Historic Preservation Act, the Environmental Policy Act, and the Stimulus Act. All these laws, they have benevolent, well-reasoned reasoning behind them, but all the 1,000-page laws, all of them together, they create many regulatory barriers that cause an increase in a spike in energy prices, renewable energy prices, thereby preventing it from increased assimilation into our energy system, especially the Stimulus Act. The Stimulus Act, one of the provisions requires that for federal monies to be used in a renewable energy project, the parts of the renewable energy project must actually be manufactured within the U.S., and this greatly increases the prices. Furthermore, federal incentives for renewable energy have been biased towards large and centralized power generation. In the scientific community, it's widely accepted in the scientific community that the future of renewable energy most likely lies within distributed generation of electricity. And it isn't just the federal government that has enacted all these regulatory barriers. There's many states and local governments as well. Some local counties' governments have full-out moratoriums against wind power. And I began to think, why does this come to be? The scientific community is obviously baffled by this. Why is there not a change in our policies? And I think partly that there's an underrepresentation of scientists and physicians in our government. The only way to change this is to be one of those scientists who is willing to put himself forward and work towards bridging the gap between science and policy. This year, I will be attending Duke University's Pratt School of Engineering and either majoring in environmental engineering or biomedical engineering, and I'm leaning towards environmental engineering now after completing the scholarship essay. And with the knowledge that I'll gain from this, I would, in the next 10 years, I will work towards surmounting the regulatory barriers, the roadblocks that I discovered in my research, and thereby promoting health and renewable energy initiatives. Also, I would like to close the gap between science and policy and assist the development and advocate for scientifically sound solutions. And this doesn't necessarily have to be solely in renewable energy. It could be in any area, in any field, because scientifically sound policy solutions oftentimes have better success rates. And I would also like to serve as a liaison between the science and the scientific community and the government. And great positive change could come from a strong synergy between these two entities. Lastly, I would like to thank you for this scholarship program because it has helped me shape my goals. Thank you, and I look forward to participating.